Imagine that you are a teacher. You are checking your student's notebook. When you check the first notebook, you find a spelling mistake. Then you check another one and you find the same mistake. Then you check another one and another one and another one and you find the same mistake. At first, you may think that it's normal. Every child makes mistakes. But what happens when the same mistakes appear again and again in almost every student's work? And what if those mistakes appear not only in Spanish, that is the native language of the student, also in English? That's exactly what happened during my teaching practice with 4th grade in primary school. What first seemed like a simple classroom challenge or problem um, became an opportunity to investigate and to understand better to my students, and also design a proposal that responds to the real needs of learning for my students. While I check in students' classwork, I noticed the same spelling mistake over and over again. The most common mistake were confusing the letters B and D, M and H, U and B, a kind of exchange between among words. The interesting part of this was that these mistakes didn't not only appear in Spanish, they also appeared when students were writing in English. At first, an important question came to my mind. Was the problem with the students or was the problem with me? Before making any conclusion, I decided to make a kind of test with them in a class. Some changes were made in the way that I write the activities were present and explained. However, the mistake continued. At the moment, I understood that it was necessary to investigate the problematic before creating any formal intervention. Every educational intervention should begin by understanding the students. So, for this reason, during the language learning research course, I made a diagnosis that include classroom observation, a test with 10 questions that I applied with 35 students of 4th grade. The results that I obtained were very interesting. Most of the students are visual or auditory, related with the learning style. The rest of them prefer the kinesthetic style. During the classroom observation, I also learned more about the group. In a general perspective, the students enjoy participate in small speaking activities and show interest in learn a second language that is English. However, when they have to write, many of them became unsure of themselves. They often erase their answer or their notes and ask for help from to the teacher. Another important observation was that the spelling mistake appear more often when students have to write on their own. In dictation activities, for example, the number of mistakes was a little lower. This suggests that the problem was not a lack of interest, but difficulty recognizing and using certain words, letters correctly while they writing. Perhaps the most important finding was something else. The students themselves knew that their writing still need improvement. They also said that they felt more confident when the teacher helped them when they make writing activities. Some students even mentioned that when they receive a feedback, that feedback helped them to improve their writing. This finding completely changed my perspective of the problem. So the problem was not only about spelling, it was also related to the students' confidence with the teacher support and the way that they learn a second language. With this information, one important question appeared: how can I teach spelling in a way that really responds to the students' needs? The answer was to design a practical English activities to correct spelling mistakes in primary school students. This proposal was not created only from a classroom experience or from my perspective. It was also based on different research from different authors who have studied the same topic or the same area. One of the most important ideas came from Tessa Daffern, who research explained that spelling activities should be played according to the specific mistakes that the students make instead of giving the same exercise to everyone. This idea became the foundation of the proposal. Instead of practicing random words like in the dictation, the activities will focus on the letters that the students confuse most. Because when teaching responds to the real students' needs or challenges, learning becomes much more meaningful for them and also could be successful. Unfortunately, because of time limitation, it was not possible to apply this intervention during my second practice. So the objectives of the proposal are very clear. The main goal is to help students to improve their writing in both languages, Spanish and English, by correctly using the letters that they usually confuse. But every educational strategy needs to show whether it really works. That is why evaluation will be an important part of the process of the proposal. So this research or proposal includes a diagnostic assessment before starting the activities and a final assessment after intervention. By comparing both results, it will be possible to see whether the number of spelling mistakes has decreased, especially those involving the letters that students usually confuse. In addition to comparing students' writing work, classroom observation records will also be used. This observation will help identify students' confidence while they writing, how often they ask for help, and whether they become able to correct their own mistakes. The student's opinion will be um, also important part of the evaluation. At the end of the intervention, will be asked how they enjoy the activities and how the activities help them to improve their writing. This will allow us to evaluate not only academic part, also impact of the proposal on students' confidence and participation. If the strategy achieves the expected results, its benefit will go beyond one classroom. It could become a useful strategy to gradually reduce one of the school's main academic problems, that is poor spelling performance. And that means creating a better learning opportunities for future students, for future generation. I would like to finish by connecting this experience with an important educational point from a school course, El Interior Superior de las Niñas y Niños. At first, it may seem unrelated to spelling, but they are actually closely connected. When a teacher identifies learning difficulty, the teacher investigates its causes and design a strategy to help students. Every decision is made for the students' well-being and their right to learn. El interés superior de los niños means putting students' needs and development at the center of every educational decision. As an M, it's not only about protecting children's rights inside of the school. It's also about making sure every child receives a quality education that responds to their needs and helps them to reach their full potential. In this case, improving spelling is not only about correcting letters, it's about giving students the tools to communicate better, learn with confidence, and build a future with more opportunities. Because behind every spelling mistake, there is always a child who deserves to be understood before being judged. And perhaps that is one of the most important lessons education can teach us, not only as a teacher. Mistakes are not only always sign of failure. Many times they are the starting point for asking better questions, doing better research, and creating better solutions. When we observe, listen, and understand our students, we stop teaching only subjects or contents. Um, as a teachers begin transforming learning experience, because one letter may seem small, but helping is a child where better can change more than a word. Thank you.